Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Today, I'm going to be explaining everything what I know about angles. So angles is when two lines meet at a certain point. For example, this is line A, and this is what we call line B. These two lines are different, but they meet up at one certain spot. This little point here is what we call an angle, because this is where lines A and B meet. We students, measure angles using a tool called a protractor. We use a protractor to measure the angles of a shape. There are 5 types of angles. First, there are the acute angles. Acute angles, they are angles that are below 90 degrees. And next, there are the obtuse angles. Obtuse angles. They are angles that are above 90 degrees but are below 180 degrees. So, for example, they would look something like this, as they are above 90 degrees, but they have not reached a straight line yet. Now the next angle would be a straight line. A straight line is exactly 180 degrees. Now the next angle would be the reflex angles. Reflex angles are angles that are above 180 degrees but below a whole circle. So, for example, they would look something like this. Something similar to this. Now the last angle would be a right angle, which is exactly 90 degrees. Perhaps it's not an accurate drawing of a right angle, because I'm not using a ruler, but who cares? Well, anyways, let's get on to the simple angle facts. Angle fact 1. Angles around a point is always equal to 360 degrees. Let's look at little Christopher over here. Christopher is a sphere, but let's say he turned into a 2D shape. The angles here, 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 here would equal to 360 degrees. Yeah? This will be a better example. The angles on this circle is what we call is equal to 360 degrees. Oh, so angle fact 2. Angles on a straight line will always add up to 180 degrees. For example, this ruler over here. This ruler is a straight line, and the angles on it will always be 180 degrees. Angle fact 3. Angles in a quadrilateral will always be 360 degrees. For example, this, what we call it over here, these sides always be 90 degrees, but it always add up, the total sum of this shape would be 360 degrees. Angle fact 4. The exterior angles will always add up to 360 degrees. What I mean by exterior angles is by the outside angles of the shape. For example, the exterior angles of this object over here will always add up to 360 degrees. Now I'll be explaining about the 4 types of triangles. Number 1, the first type triangle. The first triangle that we'll be talking about is the right triangle. Imagine this is a right angle triangle. One side has a right angle. All the others doesn't really have to care. Doesn't really matter. It just needs one right angle. One right angle, yeah. Next triangle. The isosceles triangle. The isosceles triangle only needs two sides equal to each other, and therefore you must have two equal angles. For example, this beautiful triangle over here is what we call an isosceles triangle, because this side over here is equal, this side over here is equal, except this side. Therefore, these angles must be equal as well. So basically, the isosceles triangle must have two equal sides, two equal angles. Next triangle. The next triangle we're talking about is called the scalene triangle. The scalene triangle has no equal sides and has no equal angles. Basically, it is an uneven triangle. For example, this side is not equal, this side is not equal, this side is not equal. Therefore, they have no equal sides and have no equal angles. Now, the perfect triangle is what we call an equilateral triangle. This means that all sides of the triangle are equal and have equal angles. So, yeah. And since we know that a triangle must have 180 degrees, and since all angles should be the same, therefore if we just do 180 divided by 3, because there's 3 points in the triangle, we would get 60 degrees. So in an equilateral triangle, there will be 60 degrees. So the last topic we'll be talking about is angles on a parallel line. Now, parallel lines are two lines or more that will never meet. Now, what makes this a problem is if there is a line between the two parallel lines. This line is what we call a transversal, as it transverses through the parallel lines. I think that's the reason. So now we're talking about the 4 types of angles on. So the first angle we'll be talking about is called alternate angles. Alternate angles are angles that are located in the letter Z, or in cases they are close to Z. For example, this is a parallel line and this is the transversal. This will be angle A, and the angle over here will be called angle B. Now this is what we call an alternate angle, as they are alternate to each other on parallel lines. So the thing that we have to take it from here is that angle A is equal to angle B, because alternate angles are equal to each other. The next angle we will be talking about is called corresponding angles. They are located in letters or shapes that are close to the letter F. Now, in the case of the letter F, they must be 90 degrees. So as you can see from here, on this line, these are parallel lines by the way, this angle over here is 90 degrees, and therefore this angle over here must be 90 degrees, as they are corresponding angles. They don't have to be the letter F. They can be weird shapes like this. Yeah, something like that. So this angle here must be equal to this angle over here. Angle number 3. Supplementary angles. Supplementary angles, they are located on a straight line, so therefore they must be added up into 180 degrees. For example, this straight line over here is what we call a supplementary angle. I think lah. If angle A plus angle B, it should be equal to 180 degrees. That is supplementary angles. Remember, they add up into 180 degrees. They're not equal to anything. They're not equal to each other. They just add up into 180 degrees. And the last one we'll be talking about is called vertically opposite angles. They are angles that are located in cross sections, like this. This angle over here, angle X, and this angle over here, angle Y. This is called vertically opposite angles, as they are vertically opposite from each other. And the rule is that they must be equal to each other. And since this is technically a circle, there will be an angle here as well and an angle here as well. And if you use the same rule, this angle over here must be equal to the angle over here. Now thank you for listening to my rant or talk about angles. Do it again. Thank you for listening to my talk about angles, and I hope I can do more on this if I'm needed to. And anyways, thank you and have a nice day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Wait, try your best not to look at the script.
Oh, my mouth so smell. Oh. Today, now, I'm going to be explaining.
Okay, do it again. Just get on the van and jump. 3, 2, 1, go.